Hey there, campers. While we're gathering around the campfire, we just want to let you know we are not what you would call experts. What we do have is a love for researching and discussing the lore of cryptids, creatures,
and an occasional spooky woman that can eat our soul.
So if you are in need of immediate help with the chupacabra in your yard, please consult someone else.
Also, this podcast isn't for kids. These campfire stories can contain graphic and explicit content that may not be suitable for young campers, so listener discretion is advised. Yeah. Hey, campers, me oh my name is Miss Kimmy, and I am here with the one, the only co-host, Ryan.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to Aloreing, our folklore podcast, where we not only tell you the history and sightings of lore from all around the world, but we do some other stuff too, like not read the notes,
Yeah, I,
where we
it's
tell
great.
you the history and stories of
There you
different
go.
lore from all over the world.
It's so great because, like, technically, our last episode was our comeback after our season break,
Mm-hmm.
and now this is like our actual comeback
Yeah,
because we're following our script so closely
yeah.
and we're video
Well, the
and we're just
last
like, fuck
episode was
it.
in person, which turns out way easier to be like, we should
So easy.
stop and restart.
Yeah. It's it's crazy how easy it is to record in person.
Oh yeah,
I we got so much done that day,
we did.
and we were very intoxicated
Yeah,
while we did it.
I mean because we were recording Liquor and Lore.
That's fair.
To see that, subscribe to our Patreon. Just early ad drop. There we go.
Early on
Boom.
prep.
Haven't even gotten through the intro. We're already dropping. Yes, Mr. Pablo. Hello.
Got all the joys of capitalism.
Mm-hmm.
Give us your money.
Yeah. Speaking of the joys of capitalism, man, I'm not even gonna say what did you find alluring this week because it's been months. What have you
It's
found
been,
alluring in the last however
oh,
long?
man, it's been months,
Mm-hmm.
y'all.
Sorry.
The moons
Sorry guys.
the moons have changed. Sorry, I'm just a baby. I'm just a little baby. I don't
Yeah, we're just little podcaster guys.
we're just little indie podcast. We don't know what we're doing. Man, wow. It has been a minute. I don't know. I feel like the moons have changed. If I was one person that like dyed my hair different
Yeah.
colors, I would have gone through three different
Yeah, there's
colors at
there's
this
been
point.
like, I don't know, 8 moons since the last time or
8
something like that. I don't
moons?
I don't I don't know.
I don't know
I'm
what
not counting.
what the hell hasn't been alluring.
Yeah. True. You could do a couple. Like it's been long enough.
Yeah, Hogwarts Party was great. I
Looks
one of
fun.
the thing one of the things that was super fun about it is I did a make your own potion bar this year, which
I
was
love doing that.
huge success. So I pre-made all the drinks in like little potion bottles.
Oh, so not a make your own potion and bring it. It was like a make your own, like from your
Yeah.
cocktail. Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. So, like, there was, like, bigger bottles that had, like, base liquors,
Mm-hmm.
and then there was little ones that had, like, syrup liquors. So you were,
Oh,
like, combining them to, like, whatever, like, fit your fancy kind of
yeah.
thing. So people were really loving that, and that one was cool, looked like all, like, polyjuice, and I did this really cool lightning sky that I
Nice.
loved how it turned out, like, everyone really loved it, so that was fun.
Yeah.
Like the that was a great success. Slytherin won as much as it killed me by it was a tie between them and Hufflepuff, and
Yeah.
they won by rock paper scissors
Oh,
contest,
a
which is
classic Hogwarts tiebreaker.
which is a classic Hogwarts tiebreaker, which kills me as head Hufflepuff student. It just
Yeah.
like it
Hufflepuff just
hurt.
can't catch a break, you
It
know?
hurts losing every year. My house has lost these games every year to
Dang.
another house,
Dang. And you have home
and
field advantage.
I have home field advantage,
Damn.
and it's just it's rough. It's
Wow.
rough in these streets,
That is
and
rough.
it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's great. So, but the potion bar was great.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
So it was fun. One
And
of these
first
years.
Hogwarts party in your like new home.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
I have a new home.
Mm-hmm. I
Got a new
think we talked
car.
about that in the last episode because it was
Yeah,
in person. But
it's hard because it's like, what have we talked about or what
mm-hmm.
haven't we talked about?
Yeah.
New car, new house.
Just living it up.
Jeez.
New
Mental
job.
health, new job,
Yeah, new everything.
new
Yeah.
everything.
Hence
No,
why we haven't recorded in so long. Lots of change happening.
man, stability would be nice at one
Yeah.
point,
Yeah, you got it. You got it.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
But no, I think that's good for my
Yeah.
alluring shit. Do you want to go?
Yeah, my alluring thing is me and Kimmy have officially switched places. So she's gotten real into like playing Magic and
Mhm.
just gaming in general. Meanwhile, I've kind of cut back from gaming and I've focused on I've gotten real into like miniature painting, like little D&D and like Warhammer minis. So like last night at midnight, I see a message from Kimmy to play Magic with some of my friends while I'm sitting in the corner painting. I was like, "What is going on here? This is some Freaky Friday shit."
You want to know I won that game
Did
too.
you? Hell,
I it was and it was really funny because it was my first time. It was the raccoon deck from
mm.
Blueberry,
Oh, nice.
and
That's a fun one.
it was really fun. It was my first time playing it, so it was pretty much it was the two of them playing it for me, right?
That's okay. I mean, you gotta
Which is
learn.
fine.
Yeah,
So
I
I
just thought
was
it was
like, well,
funny.
and I told them I was like, if you guys are helping me, it's like you guys are winning.
Exactly. Yeah, then that's how
So
you win every time
that's how you win every
by
time.
convincing them to help you, and then you're like, "Oh no, what am I gonna do?" And then you win.
So I did really sweep the floor. I think at one point I had like 58 health and they
Jeez.
both had like
Oh
13
my
each.
goodness. That's crazy.
I had like I think I had like 26 land and one of them had like 4.
Nice.
It was wild.
I
But
should have I
it
should have
was really
hopped
fun.
on, but I was
You
locked
should have.
in.
Yeah, you were locked in. You're like,
Mhm.
I gotta paint these minis, and you know
Mhm.
what? I've been there.
Yeah.
There's some balance, and I want everyone to know Ryan is very talented at painting minis. I am very
Yeah,
impressed.
I've my first one rough. My last ones they're getting yeah, I feel like I'm getting pretty good at it.
No, you're getting crisp. It's
Mhm.
looking really good. I'm like, do I have a clapping sound? I don't know if I have a clapping sound. Where yeah, we'll just do that. Sound of cheeks, Close, close enough. Um, speaking of cheeks, I guess.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah.
oh,
Mhm. Speaking of
uh,
clapping cheeks, let's
speaking of clapping cheeks, oh man, cue those sweet, sweet campfire sounds. Oh, I don't have that on my soundboard yet. Some
click
things never
click
change.
fire. Under the moonlight, a priest praying for sinners, beacons for heaven. Bum, 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 bum. What are we talking about?
Ooh. I have no idea how that transition goes with this week's story.
It'll
We
come
speak-
in modern takes. Don't worry.
Yeah. We'll circle all the
Yeah,
way
we'll
back to
we'll
it.
come back to clapping cheeks.
So, it's important to keep a watchful eye when roaming the streets at night for anything strange and be cautious of strangers roaming the streets. I don't know why I said that twice. Um, but what would you do if you ran into someone walking around headless? Well, if you find yourself drunk on tequila or sinning while roaming the streets of Latin America at night, you may just stumble into a ghostly, headless figure known to frighten people into going to church.
Mm.
So, for all of our lovely audio listeners, if you'd like to check out this week's illustration, you can head to our website and check out our blog,
Ooh.
or you can go to our YouTube while Ryan figures
Well, I
out
fix
our
it. There
slideshow.
we go.
There we go. Oh, there it is. And you can check out our video. Here it is. Uh, and you can check out our illustration. This week, we will be talking about El Padre Sin Cabeza, aka the
Nailed
Headless
it.
Priest. Nailed it. I said it right once this week, and that was not it. This ghostly holy figure was a major part of Latin America folklore in the early 15 and to 1900s, and this legend still holds strong to this day. And though it isn't commonly seen in pop culture,
No, it
it
is
has
not.
become a popular oral tale and it is used to caution sinners and remind people to repent throughout Latin America. And this is fun because this is like a little Latin America holy water bottle
Hmm.
kind of thing. So I really like this one.
I'm really
So
disappointed that you didn't do Science of the Church this week because I was just ready to nail it.
I can't
Headless
just hand
priest,
these to
headless
you.
priest. What
Headless.
what could
What
it be?
is what could this possibly be? you know, I I couldn't I can't just spoon feed them to you
Yeah,
all the
it's fair.
time.
It's fair. I understand.
Okay, I need you to know that.
Hmm.
It's
You just don't want me to win. I get it.
it's yeah, no, that's really it. Like I at the end of the day, I can't have you always be happy. And
Yeah,
as
and I
long as you
understand.
understand that.
Hmm.
Okay. I'm glad. I'm glad you know that. That just makes this whole podcast easier. So the origins of the headless priest are believed to be directly tied to the Spanish colonization of the Americas from 1492 to 1898. So the Spanish came with a sword in one hand and a Bible in the other hand, and a strong desire to explore a new unknown world and expand the Spanish Empire. Unbeknownst to them, the lands were already home to many indigenous groups, and the colliding of these two worlds resulted in violence, horror, and religious trauma. Even at the end, when the Spanish conquered, the damage was done. And whether it was the cultural fear, or the cleric abuse of authority, or the classic Catholic guilt, the
Hmm.
headless priest was born. So we got some good old war trauma
Got it
in
all.
this one. We
So
got it all.
just the Catholic Church.
And this painting, so for all our video watchers, I need everyone to know this was the most unhorrific painting I can find to represent this time period because it was awful.
Hmm.
And I need everyone to know that what was happening just really wasn't okay. And forcing beliefs of any kind is just never going to go down.
Yeah, the Spanish Inquisition, not great.
Not great.
Not great.
Surprising.
Yeah,
Surprising
turns
to
out.
people. So many different historians believe this eerie folklore can be connected to a multitude of different holy leaders that died during the Spanish colonization of the Americans. But the one that seemed to be most agreed as the OG spirit of the headless priest is Fray Antonio de Valdivieso. So Here's the portrait of this man. um, he
That
looks
jawline, though.
like how he sounds.
Yeah,
All our audio listeners, Fray Antonio di Valdivieso looks like exactly how
his
he
friends
sounds.
call him Frey,
Yes. Like he looks like he knows how to save a life, you know.
something like that.
Um he was a Roman Catholic prelate who served as a bishop of Nicaragua in 1544 to 1549 and the one of the defenders of the rights of the indigenous in,
Indigenous.
indigenous
Here, just start over
peoples.
here.
You're gonna can you do this paragraph for me?
Yeah.
I can't be like sorry. You guys, Ryan's gonna do this
All
next
right.
paragraph for me. I can't. I tried
Take
4 times.
47.
Take 47. This is
So
Ryan.
the guy you're seeing on your screen right now is Fray Antonio, the priest Kimmy was just talking about, a Roman Catholic priest who served as bishop of Nicaragua from 1544 to 1549. Not very long. And apparently one of the defenders of the rights of the indigenous people during the Spanish colonization of America. Um, you know, they weren't huge fans of that, so he gained some negative attention from Hernando de Costeras, the son of the governor who thought otherwise. Um, and he was attacked by an angry mob when he went to their home, and they stabbed him to death. On Ash Wednesday, so February 26, 1550, in Leon, a province of Nicaragua. Not
Thank
great.
you. Thank you so much, Ryan. I could not pronounce half the words in that paragraph, and I don't know why I couldn't. I just couldn't do it, you guys. It's been a long day, Chief. So now, even though this is believed to be the OG origins of the headless priest, there are tons, and I mean tons of other possible historic ties of who it could be. It seems that every church throughout Latin America has its own belief of who they think the priest could be. Um, and it seems that it could be someone that was protecting the indigenous peoples or the indigenous groups, or on the flip side, people that were murdering sinners in the towns nearby.
No.
So it's like one or the other.
Yeah.
So they were on some type of part of the war, one extreme or the other, doing something bad. So, for example, another possible origin takes place in Mexico in the city of Tunnel. Oh, geez, I these words tonight. Tunnel, Jalisco, Pedro,
Jalisco. Just
Jalisco, Jalisco, Pedro Monroe was a Catholic
start
priest.
start over. Start over.
No, no, I'm keeping it. I don't care. I don't care. They're here. They want a professional, they can go to a professional. Okay. For example, another possible origin takes place in Mexico in the city of Jalisco. Pedro Monroe was a Catholic priest who was lynched in the streets of the
Oh.
Cristero War. This was a war that happened in Mexico from 1926 to 1929. The government promoted atheism, so the president at the time, Plut- Plutarco,
Just, you know, just
I know. Okay. I'm not cutting any more stuff. I am so tired. I have edited so much to this point. I where did you just cut that all out of the notes? Okay. So the president at the time, that's all we're saying, did an executive order called Callous Law, which basically eliminated the power of the Catholic Church and suppressed religious celebrations at the local level. There were
mm,
uprisings and calluses called the rebellious Christoros believed because they believed in Christ. Oh, Christos because they believed in Christ.
There you
Okay.
go. It's
There,
connecting.
there, we're getting the dots are connecting. Okay. I'm a really bad Catholic, y'all. Leaders of the Catholic Church, nuns, and priests were prosecuted. Public executions were not unheard of.
Damn.
Father Pedro Monroe, the head priest, is said to be seen at midnight in the vicinity in the ruins of Sant
Santiago,
Santiago
a Apostle Parish.
Parish in the past is located between the arch and the bell tower. Woo! We're listen, after this segment, I'm not gonna have to do any more of this for the rest of the episode, okay? Yeah. Everyone just hold on. We're almost
You're
done.
almost there.
We're almost there. You can write all your angry reviews after. You can make it a game. You can take a shot for every time I
Please
mispronounce
don't.
something.
Dear God, don't do that.
So, um, the legend of the headless priest evolved and wasn't used just to describe a single ghost, but a ghostly type of entity that was once a living priest in Latin America that now roams the earth to warn others to repent and the living to have a sinless life. So, though we will never know the true origins of it, we do know that it is still popular to this day. From artwork to costumes and even small pop culture reference, this eerie priest serves as a reminder of the dark history of Spanish colonization and the pain of bloodshed that is caused throughout the New World. Now, I'm not going to say any more Spanish names or Spanish states or Spanish countries. I'm not going to butcher any more of them because I am going to hand it off to Ryan and he is going to tell us some lovely stories,
Hmm.
lovely spooky stories.
All right. So, this first one takes place in 1845 in San Ramon. So, a priest named Father Luis Francisco Perez was quite fond of gambling, but participated in it just a little too much. Who among us
Mhm.
hasn't? Um, Causing it to be considered a sinful act. All his gambling led him to winning a great fortune, rumored to be 40,000 gold coins, which, man, if I had 40,000 gold coins right now, I'd be set.
You could
Um,
get a down payment on a house.
mhm. So he hid this fortune beneath a local tree and told his brother about the treasure before traveling to Nicaragua. So, while in Nicaragua, Father Prez was decapitated, and it wasn't long till word got back to his family. The brother, stricken with grief, never spent a penny of the fortune and died without telling anyone where it was buried. Um, important note that some variations do not have a brother. But today, the ghost of the headless priest appears by the tree to prevent his treasure from getting stolen and warn others of the sin of gambling.
Ooh.
Awfully convenient. So the second one, so that first one was greed, right? Sin.
Yeah. I
Second
tried
one,
to make like a
envy.
fun little
Yeah, so we got
theme.
we're hitting some deadly sins here right now.
Mhm.
So, envy. So, the next story starts with two Spaniards, a priest and his brother, who came to serve in Cartoga during the first year of the colonial period. While in the New World, his brother had fallen in love, married a beautiful woman, and was even elected mayor, and everything was going his brother's way.
Nice.
However, the priest's life in the New World was not the same. He had also fallen in love, but it was with his brother's wife. But due to him being a priest, she chose to be with the brother, naturally. That and people weren't so welcoming to the idea of converting to Catholicism, so it seemed everything he did was met with backlash. Envious of his brother's life, he tried sabotaging the election and romancing his brother's wife. Though he wasn't able to ruin the election, he was able to engage in an ongoing affair. Naughty,
Wild.
naughty. And it wasn't long until word of the affair got out. Um, and yeah, I mean, his brother was mayor. Um, so with the first hermitage being built, The mayor saw it as an opportunity since both him and his brother would be attending. While in the new temple, the mayor beheaded his brother and, using his political influence, hid his brother's body deep under the church's ground. Ugh. He was able to clean up the crime he had committed and continued his life without guilt. Oh, sorry, with guilt for what he had done in a fit of rage. His brother's soul now wanders through the parish ruins at night in attempts to find his missing head. To this day, many people believe that the grounds are cursed since the brother never repented for his sins. There have been several attempts to build a new church on these grounds, but each time a new church is almost completed, an earthquake will destroy it. Hmm. And then there's other variations of this tale that say the mayor was so hurt and angered by the betrayal that the two got into a brawl at the building the mayor beheaded his brother at, and now his soul also lurks nearby to warn others to avoid the sins he committed.
So the most interesting thing about that legend is so that's like the embellished like tall tale of
Mm-hmm.
it, but it's actually based off two people.
Yeah,
So that one to me is absolutely crazy. Like
agreed.
that's a wild love
Mm-hmm.
triangle Spanish soap opera that I would love to watch.
Straight up.
Because you know that's going to be good. And I also want to point out you missed I take time with my show notes, and I put a little
Oh
razzle
yeah,
dazzle.
sorry. Well, I figured we were gonna add the dramatic Spanish guitar music.
I forgot to put. I like to add sound effects to my soundboard, and I had dramatic Spanish guitar music
Here, we
in
can do it
here.
again. He had also fallen in love, but it was with his brother's wife.
Yeah. Well, anyway, sorry. I just needed the world to know that I had that in there,
Hmm.
and now we can move
Yeah,
on.
now we're gonna hit everyone's favorite sin, which is lust. Heyo. Um. All right. So the final tale takes place in Tonaka, where there was a powerful priest known to be quite the womanizer, seeing a trend. He would sneak it at night and partake in multiple love affairs with maidens throughout the town, not maidenless. And even though he was a womanizer, there was one woman who was a close friend to the priest, and they fell in love. Many of the townsfolk knew about their unholy relationship and loathed the sinful priest because they cared deeply for the girl and hated how he got away with it, being the leader of the local church, but no one could do anything about it. So the priest went along, continuing to womanize the town and partake in multiple romantic affairs. That was until one tragic night when the close friend of the priest had mysteriously died. Damn. Though the priest wasn't responsible for her death, so we think, the town folks quickly pinned it on him. An angry mob formed, captured the priest, and beheaded him in a public execution, cursing his body to roam the town forever to try and find his missing head and his departed lover. Only when they are both found will he be able to enter the gates of heaven. To this
Ooh.
day, a headless priest is said to wander the town searching for his head and screaming out in an attempt to find his long lost lover, this being the ultimate punishment for any priest who falls in love. Well, that's kind of
Ooh.
fucked up. Like,
But hear me out. This would make a great musical.
yeah.
Wonderful. This is
Hmm.
wonderful community theater stuff
I could,
right
yeah.
here.
Or just like
10
a
out of
really
10.
like scandalous book.
Or yes,
Just smut.
just smut.
Yeah.
Oh, I would
It probably
eat this
exists.
up.
Did we check it? What's that website that all the people write their little
What
yeah, what pad? Has anyone looked up headless priest on Wattpad?
No, but
You
I will
should
get
do
back
that.
to
That's
you.
what I should have looked up for modern takes. All right, now just
Anyway.
for the most unfortunate part of this episode, Kimmy messaged me in
Stop.
the dead of night and said, Ryan, I found a video. It's real. The headless priest is real. And I woke up in a daze. So like, whoa, what's going on? And Kimmy had sent me a video proving without a shadow of a doubt that the priest is real, thanks to a man who filmed this encounter 8 years ago. Unfortunately, he only had his camera from 1960, and just he was so shocked by this headless priest he saw on the street that he just couldn't stop shaking. And the footage is just, whew, it's insane. You can see a still of it here. We'll post the rest of it. We'll post the link to the YouTube video. But man, fair warning, it's a whew, it's a doozy.
Ryan, I work like a dog.
Well, what do you mean? I'm saying how, like, how unfortunate that this man only had just this camera, and he was so terrified to see the headless ghost.
I I go through so many, so many
That
videos.
that sounds
I
exactly
don't
like the ghost in the video. That sound you just made just now.
I it's I go through so many videos and so much research, and then I'm like, this one, this may be something. This may
Hmm.
be something. And then I send it to you.
Oh man,
And I
and you
always
got
get
me, man.
I always get the most Kimberly. I always get just my name
I don't
sent
know
back
what you're
to me.
talking about. This
I
video shook me to my core, ice in my
it's
veins, terrified that this man saw the real deal.
it's like I think I like getting disrespected at this point. It's because I feel like I'm trying so hard. It's just-
Kimmy, you're doing such a good job finding these videos of these cryptids out there. They really need to put you on the front lines. Like, you figured
thank
it
you.
out when no one else
Thank you.
could.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you
Um
so much. I do these art shows, I do these markets, and I have people come up to me and they're like, Kimmy, you're finding things
yeah.
I can never find.
Yeah,
And I'm like,
ever.
thank you
Yeah.
so
I
much.
never would have
Because
found this
I
video.
I never get this respect from my co-hosts.
I don't know what you're talking about. I've said nothing but good things
Mhm,
about
mhm,
how
mhm,
just absolutely
mhm. Thank
4K
you.
this
I
video
know.
is.
It's
And if if I saw that kid crossing, I mean, headless headless man crossing the street, oh boy, I'd have been shaken too.
One day, one, one, one glorious, glorious, glorious day.
Yep.
One day,
Mhm.
you
But not
know,
today.
it will just make it better.
Yep.
That's
Well, with the
one day.
advancements in cameras, I mean, what 2016, that was a rough year for cameras.
2016 was.
I mean all we had was like, the iPhone like 10 at that time. Like there, not very advanced cameras on those things.
As
Poor
a
low light performance. So,
as one like quick tangent I would really like to bring up that has been bothering me.
mhm.
Have you noticed Gen Z are trying to bring back like the iPhone Nano
Really, I
cameras
think we should.
to
It
to
looks
take
better.
Ryan.
They're
I
trying
am
to be a new they're trying to be the new generation of cryptid hunters, so they need to whip out their iPhone Nanos. How else are they going to get videos of Bigfoot? You're not going to get it on the iPhone. What are we on? 16? Guarantee it. Am I wrong? Nope. I'll take your silence as a great, as I nailed it.
Oh wow, I've never been speechless. I, I, you're right.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
that's how you capture footage. You have to have old technology. New stuff just can't quite capture like we used to.
I think Ryan has broken me.
This video was actually filmed on an iPhone Nano.
We're gonna. Ryan's broken me. We're gonna go commercial break.
Yep.
I
So
don't know.
that Kimmy can afford her next iPhone. And if you also have an iPhone Nano, that means you have some extra spending money to get yourself some Aloreing merch. We got our no, this is Stingy Jack. No, Headless Horseman. Headless Horseman merch. Also, we all love our headless boys. They can't be yapping if they don't got a head. So, ladies, get yourself a Headless Horseman shirt. Or headless priest stuff. I'm sure that's coming soon.
No man.
And yeah. There's still plenty. I know it's only October, but there's Christmas is coming. Clearly, Christmas. The holidays are here already. Holidays are here. Get yourself some Aloreing merch for your friends and families, and when they say, "What's Aloreing?" then you get to say, "Oh, it's this awesome podcast," and they make these cool T-shirts.
That's great. Great little. We can go back. Oh, Ryan, I love this show. This show's great. I love this podcast. Radio sounds.
Beep boop beep boop beep beep boop 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 boop. It's the sound the iPhone Nano makes.
Oh man, I love this. This is great. I love this podcast. Welcome back, campers. We hope you enjoyed that little break.
No, I did.
We're gonna talk about the appearance and fun facts of the headless priest.
Okay, before we get into the appearance, everyone put your guess in. What does the headless priest look like? All right.
Guesses now.
Yep, lock it in. All right, Kimmy, go ahead.
All right. Now, if you guess it didn't have a head, then
you nailed it. Wow. Shout out to you.
Wow. So proud. So proud. That's it. Like,
yeah. What else could a headless priest have been wearing?
Well, besides the headless thing, those that have seen the spirit do say it appears as a tall male, again, no head, wears a priest robe and holds a rosary in his hands. There are a few variations of I said that weird. There are a few variations of this legend where in place of his missing head, there is a fleshless skull.
Oh.
I don't know what that means.
Just like a skull with no flesh on it. So a skull.
Yeah, but that's kind of a really weird way to say that.
Yeah, it's kind of like you're saying the same thing twice, right? Like a fleshless skull.
Yeah, but
it's just a skull.
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like
maybe it's just missing like skin and not like muscle and stuff.
Yeah, that's
gross.
That makes it worse, right?
I think a little bit, yeah.
It's like one of those weird like charcuterie kind of like meat. Like when they get like the skulls and they put like the pastrami on it. That's what I kind of picture.
I was gonna have a pastrami sandwich for dinner, but now I'm kind of second guessing that.
Yeah, you should pray about that. So as a true man that has dedicated his life to working for the Lord and being holy, minus the whole adultery thing,
that he was extra holy then.
Yeah. Uh, he seems to take an extreme measure in death to ensure people stay on the righteous path. So he roams under the moonlight and will appear in front of sinners, giving them an awful fright.
He's kind of a creep then, right?
Yeah, his victims will then experience a bone-chilling, cold
Yeah, they
breeze.
will.
Swell-
He just shows up on prom night. He's like, "Hey,
Hey!
stop it!"
He just sees the car shaking. He's like, ah,
Hey,
okay.
knock it off.
He has Snape's cape as he does it too.
You
10 points
have
from Hufflepuff.
sinned. You are a sinner, Harry.
The headless priest sounds an awful lot like Snape
Yeah,
from
that's
Hogwarts for
really
some
weird.
reason. Um, so they'll experience a bone-chilling cold breeze, swollen legs, and overall discomfort.
Okay, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done.
You sure you got all ours?
Yeah.
Okay. A bone chilling. No.
Bone chilling, swollen something. Got
Mhm.
real discomforted when he showed up.
He's never going to be done, you guys. I'm not going to give
I'm
it to him
done.
again.
I'm done.
Okay. Okay. Becoming so terrified from the
Yeah, they
encounter.
are. Okay. All right. All right.
Becoming so terrified from the encounter, they are unable to speak for a few days. So, even thinking they have gout as a result.
Oh, God. Ouch.
Damn. So, another way he is known to scare the sinners is to compel them to enter a church. Interesting approach. So, roaming near the church doors under the moonlight, he will materialize a stone hermitage and ring the bells, calling those nearby to enter the building. There, the sinner will hear a priest singing, and then when it's time for the consecration, so this is the action of all the non-church people, which is fine. Even me, a church person, I was like, what the hell is this? The action of making or declaring something, typically a church sacred. So for example, like they're like, this bread represents the body of Christ.
Gotcha.
Wine, blood of him.
Yeah.
Or Mormon church, the water is the
Everything.
blood of
Yeah.
Christ.
Yeah.
You know, the priest then turns around and has no head, and his hands are full of blood, sending the sinners running out of the church in fear.
Running out of the church? I thought he wants them in the church.
So he brings them in the church. He brings the sinners in the church, does the declaration, and then is like, "Ooga booga, sinners," and then scares them out of it. So it's like a wake up call.
That's
I
not a
don't
good
know.
way to get them to come back.
Well, a method's a method.
No one
I
ever
guess.
said he was a good priest. Let's just
Yeah,
throw that out there.
I was going to say it's happening. It doesn't mean it's working well. Like he's doing his job doesn't mean it's a good job.
Yeah, he's doing that job.
He's doing a job. So, maybe thinking that scaring them nearly to death isn't very priest like, or scaring them out of a church isn't nearly very priest like either. But the purpose of this is to encourage the sinners to turn their life around for the better. So during these few days, the victims will appear at local churches and repent for their sins to turn their life around for the better. There is also the off chance that he isn't scaring sinners to be better, but is merely looking for his lost head as a last ditch effort to enter the gates of heaven.
Please. I mean, to be fair, he can't really communicate that he doesn't that he's looking for his head. He's like, oh!
Which I love the idea where he can't get into heaven because he doesn't have his head.
He shows up to the gates and St. Paul's like, so no head?
So no head. And he's like, you can't get in, man. And he's like, what am I supposed to do?
There's two things on the dress code. No shoes. Oh, three things. No shoes, no shirt, no head, no service. He's like, God damn it.
It's like, oh, and no sinning.
Yeah.
Like, that's can't put the Lord's name in vain.
You can get away with sinning if you have a head. But since you can do one or the other. You could sin and have a head, or you can not have a head and live a sin-free life. But it can't be we can't do both of these things.
I like to imagine it's in like really fine print under the
Yeah.
dress code.
Yeah, at the very end of the Bible, like really small, it says that.
What is it? It's the 11th commandment,
Yeah,
actually.
he left that
It
part
checks
out.
out. It's like it kind of gets forgotten. It's more of a
Hmm.
comedy thing. It's
Yeah,
like he's got a sense of humor.
yeah.
Oh man. Okay. Time for like some fun little facts. So now if you're wanting father hunting 101. Now if you are wanting to see the spooky father for yourself and confessional booths aren't your thing, we got some handy dandy tips for where he likes to chill. So first off, he is known to roam around at night, specifically Friday nights under a new moon. Maybe because this is the most likely time someone will commit sin.
It's one I like to sin, I'll tell you what. I'm like, oh man, moon's out. Let's go.
And there's like technically no scientific data, but there's something about like new moons where people get a little bit more edgy, a little bit more active, a little bit
Hmm.
more crazy, more
Hmm.
reckless. Um, Again, no scientific proof, but
There's a vibe
it's
to
a
it.
big cultural thing. Yeah, maybe I'll talk about one day. It's more of an astrology girly fun thing I'm into. Um, During these late nights, he is seen roaming lonely roads or the front door of churches. In Guatemala, there have been multiple sightings of him roaming the catacombs of the oldest churches, La Merced. Oh no, oh no, there's a few names of places.
Just when you
Oh,
thought you were out.
oh, I thought I was at La Merced, Santo Domingo, and you could jump in
Iglesia de San Francisco?
in Iglesia de San Francisco. Some have even reported that he will appear when a priest in the church was wrongfully murdered and his head can be found inside the church building. So
His head or the priest's head?
his head can be found inside the church building when a priest of the church
Oh,
has been wrongfully murdered.
gotcha.
All right. So heads will roll literally. So why are all these priests headless? Well, that's because beheading was a bit too popular at the time. So, due to religious conflict, lynching was a very common practice during the Spanish colonization of the Americas. The Spanish Empire came to the New World in hopes of growing and spreading the Catholic religion, but they didn't plan on there being natives in the New World and them having their surprise own religious belief system. So, when the Catholic leaders and missionaries started talking about their God being the only God, many were taken aback and saw them as surprise, disrespectful to their customs, funeral practices, and overall way of life. And since it was common practice for the natives of Costa Rica at the time to take the heads of their enemies killed in battle as trophies, this led to tons of beheadings of these religious leaders from the Spanish Empire.
Valid.
So, as a result, all these public executions and the legends of the headless priest throughout the New World create a collection of eerie stories. So, that's why the legend's so poppin' that way.
Mhm.
And finally, Jinkies. It was a disguise all along.
No.
No. Now, as eerie as this legend is, some dismiss it as nothing more than a marketing campaign by local churches to scare people into attending.
Again, not very effective if you're going to scare them out as well, though.
That is fair. So, when life is good, people tend to stray from religion. But when people are scared and confused, they turn to religion as a form of comfort. So, knowing this, it was rumored that local priests would occasionally wear a wrap around their head and walk around moonless nights scaring people to attend the church.
This also happened 8 years ago on video.
God Damn it, Ryan. Some say the original headless priest was actually nothing more than a loving priest that loved playing pranks
Just a
on
goofy
his
guy.
naive followers. Just a
Fucking
goofy guy.
prank him, John.
He would scare them at night by wrapping his head in a dark cloth to get them to attend church. And what is a life loving priest? Wait, what did I say? And what is life loving without a bit of love?
Yeah.
What? Yeah. Oh, yeah. That makes sense. He was also known to wrap his head and completely covered so no one would know he was visiting his mistress or a local brothel.
Okay, see, you did that one on purpose.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
He
I
was he
see
was
what it.
wrapping his head to visit the
Yeah.
local mistress. I'm not even gonna give you that one. I'm just
I
gonna
get it. I made a 2-for-1
you did.
joke. I just didn't indent the paragraph. That's why I was so confused. I'm just gonna do it now. There we go. Now it counts. um, that way he could visit the ladies as much as his heart desired, and people were so terrified of the legend of the headless priest they wouldn't dare go to investigate any further. That's right. I forgot about that. That's so good. Oh man. Anyway, that's all I got for
All right.
this week's.
Time for everyone's favorite segment, Modern Takes with Ryan. Pew,
Ooh, I
pew,
got the
pew, pew.
sound.
There's Papa getting abducted. Whoa. All right, Kimmy. I have an important question for you.
Oh
All right.
man, what you doing to this week?
Oh, no, where's my. Who wore it better?
Stop
So,
it.
everyone loves a headless man, as we discussed.
Oh
But
man.
there are two headless boys out there that we all know and love. We have the headless horseman
Okay.
and the headless priest. So, Kimmy,
Ooh.
with Halloween coming so rapidly approaching, what's in, what's out? Headless priest, headless horseman.
Ooh. Oh man. Oh man.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
This is very
You know,
important.
it's very okay. I feel very uncomfortable answering this as a as 50% Brazilian and 50% American
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because I am more attracted
Okay.
to the headless horseman.
Okay. Well, that's fair. The man knows how to ride. Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Valid.
But I feel
But
like
the priest is a well-known lover.
yes, and
Mm-hmm.
that's what I'm saying
Yeah. That's
is
both
I
completely
feel
valid points.
I feel like if a priest is committing the sin of love, he knows what he's
He knows
doing.
what he's doing. Especially this guy. He's wrapping his
Yeah.
head. He's going out.
Okay, here okay.
Headless horseman would never.
I am going to go with should we do a drum roll? The priest.
Wow. Okay.
Because he wraps his head
All
and you
right.
should
That's
wrap it
valid.
before you tap it.
All right, boys. You heard it here. Headless priest is in. Headless horseman is out. So go return that headless horseman outfit that I know you already bought.
Ghostface is out, headless priest is
In.
in.
Yep. All right. And this has been Modern Takes with Ryan. Beep, 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 beep. Do we
I
have
love it,
any
Ryan.
announcements before we go to our alignment?
No, we don't got anything.
All
We're just
right.
straight to the alignment.
Straight to the alignment. Here we go.
Oh,
We're pretty on board this
pretty
week.
on board.
Yep. Though after your description at the end there, I'm just tempted to move him to lawful good for some reason. Wow.
Yeah, no, I'd move him to lawful good.
Yeah.
You have swayed me
Not gonna
to
argue
lawful
that.
good.
You swayed yourself. I didn't have to do
I
anything.
swayed
I
myself.
just nudged you in the direction.
Yeah, and
Look, the man knows his stuff, you know?
yeah, and I was like, well, I don't know what he looks like, and then you're like, you know what? But he knows what he's doing. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
that is fair.
And he's
That's all it
6 foot
took.
without a head. Like, come on,
He's six
come
foot
on,
without a head. Yeah, you can't make that up.
can't make that up.
6 foot without a head and wrapping it
Shit,
in this
in
economy?
this economy. All right,
Can't make that shit up.
all right,
Lawful good, baby.
yeah. All right, do we have any takeaways this week?
Man, you gotta
All
go first.
right. If you're gonna go, okay, this is for my priests out there listening. Okay, if you're gonna go out and be a womanizer, hitting the streets, wrap your heads. It's important, and you don't want to lose them.
Man, you took mine, Ryan. You took, that's all I've been saying for the last few minutes. And then you just were like, you know what? I'm not. I'm just,
I'll swoop in.
just
What you
smacked,
get for letting
just
me go
smacked it,
first on takeaways, sucker?
just smacked him right out of there. Um, Let me see what I can do as my takeaway. Um, Let me see. S- I'll get there.
Learn
Me-
Spanish.
Oh, that's okay. Okay, there's a good one.
If you're gonna do a podcast.
If listen, if you haven't opened your Duolingo in a few months, you should.
That's fair.
That is that is my takeaway.
hmm
You should. All right. All right. Thank you all so much for listening. This has been alluring.
You just have the most alluring day of your stinking life. Go wrap your heads up. Everyone, don't forget Headless Horseman out, Headless Priest in. Have a wonderful night.
Bye.